Hey, what's up guys? It is Golden Era Cards, and today we have a video for all the new sports card enthusiasts and collectors. Before we start today's videos, guys, please check out our Whatnot page. It's in the description. Click that link. Get $15 free when you sign up for Whatnot, and check out our page, Golden Era Auctions, on there. You will like what you see. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're at 1,400 subs, and when we hit 1,500, we'll be giving away a hobby box. So please make sure to subscribe. And guys, today's video is information every sports card collector needs to know before they spend $1 on a card. Well, what I mean by that? Well, you just need to know what the cards are in the first place. Let me show you here. So we're going to start with the most basic card imaginable and then get more complex so you guys know the differences between cards. So first off, this is a base card. It's not a rookie. It's not from Reggie's rookie year. It's not a foil. You can tell there's no foil on it. It's not a refractor because it's not chrome. This is a base card. In most packs, the majority of the cards you receive when you rip will be these. Nothing special about it. Maybe a good player is a little better, something like that. But it is a base card. It is like the base model of a card. Okay, so that's first. The second thing you need to know is a rookie base card. So this is Caleb Williams, but to see if a card is a rookie, every card will have a rookie badge. This is Panini's. Topps has their own that, let's see if I find one here. There we go. There's Topps for baseball, but basketball and football are very similar. That means it's from the player's rookie year, and this is a base one. You can tell because it's not numbered. There's no patches, anything like that. You get one of these per pack, usually a rookie. But next, we have a parallel. So see how this Kelsey is like green? I don't know, I'm colorblind. Green, red, whatever. And this one is just foil. Well, usually parallels are pretty easy to identify by the color. There's still a paper card, and basically a paper card is a card that's made out of paper versus the chrome, which is like almost plasticky. I'll show that in a sec. That is a foil. It's a different color. It does provide a little more rarity, little more value, just depends on the player and card as well. Again, you can tell it's usually a different color. So next up is an insert. Now see how this does not look like those other cards. Those are a normal looking card, just the player. Inserts will have something different, a different design. They're typically more rare, usually one per pack, a few per box, depends on the set. But this is just a Tom Brady NFL Dynasties insert from Topps. And you can see it's just like when you open your first box, you'll be able to tell the difference between an insert. They're usually a little quirkier. I can actually find you a different example here. This Deebo Samuel winning ticket. It will kind of incorporate other things like lottery ticket, quirky things like that. But yeah, inserts are a bit more valuable unless it's a rookie card. Now, rookie inserts are usually, depends on the set, but worth less than the base. So that's something to keep in mind. They usually don't have a rookie badge. That means it's a little harder to tell it's a rookie. Some people don't like that. But that's an insert. They're cool, not rare per se. Now, it's a little confusing, but you've probably heard of a downtown. Those are called case hits. I actually don't have one in the stack, but a case hit is exactly what it sounds like. Typically one per case. Downtowns, uptowns, there's one or two per case. Those are inserts, but they're a top dog of inserts. So next up, we're on to chrome cards. Now this is a refractor. Now I'm not going to show a base, actually I can. So this is what a base chrome or prism looks like. Panini, it's called prism. Topps, it's called chrome. But you can see it's similar design, that very glossy look. But look at the difference. This is called a refractor. This has a special finish on it that takes the light and makes this rainbowy color there. It's hard to identify at first, but once you get the hang of it, it is easy. See how the Scadaboo does not reflect light at all in the slightest, while the Woodson does. And also, besides the reflective light, typically it will say refractor. And I have an example for Panini cards as well. This is a select die cut Joe Namath. See how it says prism at the top there. Now, refractors are either one per pack or one per every couple packs, depends on the set again. For example, prism, I believe per blaster, If you walk into your local Target, Barnes, Walmart type of thing, there's mega boxes, and blasters are the cheaper ones. They're a good way to kind of get your toes wet without spending a ton of money. You'll get a few of these per box, and they do add value depending on the player. If you get a rookie, it could add up to 20, 30 times what the base card is worth. For example, a silver prism, which is from the Prism set. A lot like Selected, is a bit more rare. Of a good rookie, let's say Caleb Williams, is worth $200, while the base card is maybe 10. So you really want to keep that in mind. If you're going to a card show and you rip a silver prism and you're trying to sell your cards, and if you don't really know a lot yet, someone may try to get you on that. So keep that in mind. Look at that silvery refractory pattern, rainbowy. Normal ones don't have that, and it won't say it on the back. That is very important to know. That, as a beginner, when I started, is one of the hardest things to kind of get the hang of. Okay, so next is, we'll do a numbered card. Totally forgot about numbered. So numbered cards are serial numbered with a stamp. See, it has a numerator, denominator. It's numbered to 350. It is not this number. Now, people get this mixed up all the time. That 136. This is the number that the card is in the set, but not a numbered card. For example, when there's one, now this is 136. People aren't going to get confused on that. But like if it's number 10 in the set, people will say number to 10, Joe Burrow, and people go crazy. It's because it's not numbered. It's just the number of the set. Every card has a number in a set. A set has anywhere from 150 to 400 or 500 cards, and each card is assigned a number. But numbered cards are essentially one per box or less, depending on what you rip. Now, they do add significant value. They go anywhere from 1 of 1s, which means there is only one copy of that card, all the way up to, in modern sets, $9.99 or the year. So, for example, you'll pull a gold parallel to the year, so 2026, whatever. But numbered cards are rare. They add a lot of value to good players, even to worse players. And yeah, it's something that it's way easier to tell versus refractors, actually, because it's numbered, it's more rare because you pull less of them. But keep in mind, as that number goes down, the value can go up significantly. So like a Caleb Williams to $8.99, even though he's a better player, is worth less than, let's say, a Malik Willis to 10. I mean, he's a good player, but because there's only 10 of those in the entire world of that specific card. So those are numbered. They're very cool. Some people only collect numbered and refractors. So it just kind of depends on what you like. Next, we got patches. I got every type of patch here. Now, this is going to confuse some people as well. I'll do my best to explain it. There are 3 types of patches. Always have a piece of the jersey of a player on it. Now, what's the difference between these 3 here? This Brock Purdy, if you flip to the back here, is not, the enclosed authentic memorabilia is not from any specific game or event. This means this jersey could be from, I don't know, the Walmart rack. It could be from a random jersey, a random player, not even a player. This one, this Kyle, pretty butcher's name, but this is player worn. Now this means Kyle at least put this jersey on his body, but he doesn't have to wear it in a game. He could have put it on and taken it off right after. And then the Dwayne Bowe here, this is the cream of the crop. This is a game-used trading card. The piece on the front is a game-used patch, numbered to 125. This is what people typically want. Now, regular patches, non-game-used patches, and that's the, how people say it. Non-game used do have value, especially for better players. Like this Brock is still worth, $5-6. But you want the patch that was actually worn by the player in the game. So if I had to rank him, it'd go 3, 2, 1, because at least he wore the jersey. At some point, he did take it, could have taken off right after, could have worn it in the game. They don't know. This is worn in game. Flip your card over, it will say on the back. And if you're ever curious, whether you're buying from someone at a show, in a stream, wherever, ask if it's game worn. And if the person's honest, they'll tell you. But yeah, that's game worn, player worn, and nothing there. And then lastly, I actually got 2 more. Lastly, but not least, we got autos. Now, when you first start, pulling autos is the best feeling in the world. I don't care if it's the crappiest player. It just is. It's so fun. Now, there's 2 things you need to know about autos. There's 2 types of autos as well. Much like patches, there's on-card autos. So this means Ray actually had this card and he signed it himself on this card. And then these are stickers. So as you can see here, Tatum Bell signed hundreds of these stickers, and then the workers peel them off, place them on the card. Generally, in terms of value, on-card autographs are worth, I would say, much more. Especially recently, the trend has been preferring on-card autos. I mean, it's just more personalized. The player actually touched the card versus a bunch of stickers. It's very easy to tell. On-card autos pop, they're on the card. Stickers, that foil there will always say Topps certified, or for Panini, will have a bunch of their logo on it. That just shows it's legitimate. But yeah, autos are typically one per every few boxes of retail products. Some offer one per 1 or 2 boxes for a better product like Rookies and Stars. Some have big name players in their boxes. Some have less popular players. Something we can look at in a future video is checklists, how to read a checklist for both players and rarity so you know what you can get. And then last but not least is patch autographs. Pretty self-explanatory. It's both a mem and an auto. Now, I would say this one is kind of middle of the pack. I don't have an example of each here. But really the best patch auto you can get would be a game worn, this one's player worn, but imagine game worn on-card autograph. That's coming out of your high-end products like Exquisite, National Treasures, Immaculate, things like that. Those are typically the most valuable, most sought after. And from that, like we learned earlier, it goes down from there. So maybe a game-used patch, but a sticker auto, or an on-card auto with a non-game used patch. Panini does that a lot. These are very difficult to pull in retail boxes. You really get these in hobby. Occasionally you'll get lucky out of some sets in retail, but tough to get, very valuable. I mean, these can range, even the worst players' patch autographs are a few dollars, all the way up until the hundreds of thousands, if not millions for, you know, LeBron, Mahomes, players like that. So guys, just to recap, remember, this is information to know before you buy a single card. You got to know what you're buying. So base card, it's kind of unorganized here, but base card, base rookie, a parallel. Remember, these are different colors. An insert, usually a quirky design. It'll revolve around something like, this is Super Bowl heroes. Like the other one was slot machines or scratch tickets, just random things. Refractors, that's a silver prism. So Panini, this is the most confusing part. I'll explain it real quick. Panini has a set called Prism, but they also call their shiny cards Prisms as well. So to know the set, always just read the front of the card. This is a select Prism die cut, but the set Prism will say Prism on it as well. A refractor for Topps products, same difference as the Prism, very similar. We got numbered, of course, the patches and the autos. So guys, thank you all for watching. I hope you learned something from this. If you are a new collector, again, please subscribe to the channel. We're so close to 1,500. If you enjoyed this video, share it, show it some love. Comment down below how long you've been into cards, who your favorite player is, and let me think of another one. What hobby box should we give away? Let me know. And guys, thank you all for watching. Have a good one. Peace out, everyone.